For our recent anniversary celebration, we decided to try something new. So we ended up booking a slot for a baking session at Good Times DIY Baking Studio in MyTown Cheras.
When we first got there, we were asked to keep our belongings in a locker before prepping for the session. All the ingredients and utensils were arranged in an orderly manner on their shelves for easy access.
We were provided with an iPad to refer to the step-by-step instruction. After preparing the ingredients for our menu, we took them to our designated table to start the process.
Basically, it was a plug-and-play kind of activity. We just needed to follow the steps on the iPad. The steps were easy to understand. However, the execution was kind of delicate, especially the cracking eggs to separate the egg whites part. I messed up around 3 eggs, but no worries, as the staff were kind enough to replace them.
We did all the ingredient mixing, butter melting, and flour sifting at the main table. After that was done, we moved to prepare the batter at the mixer station at the back. We needed to repeat the mixing process at a specific time interval to ensure that the batter is nicely formed, so we had to time ourselves.
Once the batter is ready, we returned to our main table where we needed to pour the batter into a round baking pan. Before that, we needed to use butter to stick baking papers on the pan to ensure that the cake comes out cleanly without burning. We then had to write our names on a sticky note as a label before the pan was placed in the oven to bake.
The baking process takes around 40 minutes, so while waiting, we prepared the toppings for the cake. We just realized we forgot to mention the name of the menu that we're baking. Actually, we chose to bake the Strawberry Victoria Sponge Cake.
The strawberries were required to be chopped up to small pieces as they were to be placed in the middle of the cake and also as a decoration on top. We also had to prepare the cream piping bag. The 2 toppings were then placed in the fridge to keep cool.
The topping preparation was done in a jiffy, as there were plenty of time left before the cake finished baking, plus we also needed to wait for the cake to cool down before any further process can be done. The staff advised us to take a walk around the mall while waiting.
1 hour later.
Once we're back at the station, we had to cut the cake in half before we could start decorating. Once again, I managed to mess up my cake and it ended up being slightly lopsided. But all is well. The layers were then put to rest again to ensure that the texture is firmed up properly before the decorating part began.
We spread strawberry jam evenly on each layer before arranging the strawberry pieces on them, not forgetting the cream as well. Basically, there is no right or wrong in this final process. We were able to use our own creativity and preference to decorate each of our own cakes.
As a final touch, we sprinkled some icing sugar on the top layer and voila, the cakes are done. To be honest, we're proud of the outcome, considering this was the first time we both actually baked a cake.